Congressman, if you could tell us more of what authorities have told you of how ammonium nitrate may have played a part in this explosion. What have you learned?
Well, this is a agricultural community, and ammonium nitrate is an important fertilizing agent. The question is what role ammonium nitrate played, and I really ought to invite the county judge up here because he gave me a tutorial in anhydrous ammonia and ammonium nitrate and how it's used. But essentially, it's a fertilizer, and we're here during in a rural community where agriculture is important, and this was, of course, this explosion occurred at a facility that stored this ammonium nitrate and anhydrous ammonia. But right now they're investigating all of it. But we had a chance to go to the blast site and see the tangled wreckage of one of the fire trucks that were some of the first responders that they drove to the scene. And as you know, there was a fire. And then the fire subsequently, after the first responders got there, caused the tanks to explode, which caused most of the significant damage and loss of life. So that's what we know now.
Senator, given the prominence of ammonium nitrate fertilizer with respect to agricultural use, the 1947 explosion in Texas City, how it was used in Oklahoma City, what happened here, does there need to be a federal review or a state review of how this material is stored, where it's stored, and how it can be secured?
Well, I'm confident there'll be exactly the kind of review you're talking about, both from the local level to the state level to the federal level, and we have authorities from all of those jurisdictions here in place, and I'm confident that review will take place, and we'll wait for their recommendations.
Can anyone tell us more about the death toll right now? We're at 12 before. Is there some hope it won't go any higher than?
Well, I think there's a lot of hope that it won't go any higher than 12. There's no question about that. As far as real numbers, you might want to talk to someone more in the local community about that.
Is there anyone who can answer this, Harry? Is there anyone who can answer that question?
Well, we know that there are a number of people unaccounted for, and right now the authorities are going to the hospitals and making sure they know where people are. So they're in the process. There are a number of confirmed dead. But there are others, people unaccounted for right now, and of course, more than 150 who suffered injuries. So they're in the process of making that determination.
Besides good wishes and prayers, what actually can you do for them?
Well, I'll tell you, we're seeing an outpouring of love and caring across Texas, across the country, across the world. There are people that are going and giving to the Red Cross. There are people that are going and giving blood. We've got HEB who is here providing food for those who are displaced, and a great many who have lost their homes are staying with friends and family. And I'll tell you, one of the things also is it's really a testament to the leadership. You look at County Judge Felton on the ground, you look at Mayor Muska, you look at Sheriff McNamara that are working on the ground along with state leadership. And I'll tell you, it really underscores Texas is blessed to have a world-class disaster response team on the state level. And that state leadership is working with federal authorities, working with the ATF that is on the ground, trying to assess what exactly happened. And I think it is a terrific example of the interaction that can and should occur between different levels of government and between citizens in the private sector who are stepping forward to make a difference and to help others who are in need.
Senator, when you're looking at the blast site itself, were you surprised how close the plant was to the homes and to schools? And the plant was there first, and then the infrastructure moved closer. Was that a surprise to you?
Well, I think we need to allow time for a careful investigation of what exactly occurred. All of us want to know what happened here, what caused the explosion, what factors made it more likely. And I think it would be a mistake to rush to a conclusion before the facts and evidence are assembled. There will come a time when there has been a careful investigation, when people have been able to examine the blast site and see what happened. when we can then begin to assess what steps could have been taken to prevent a tragedy like this. But I think it'd be a mistake to get ahead of the facts and the investigations.
Any review of regulations needed?
I think we need to await the conclusion of the investigation to ascertain what happened.
Senator, do you know the dollar amount that needs to be reached before any federal assistance and disaster assistance can be?
Can you speak a little louder?
What's the dollar amount, for instance, like this that has to be reached before federal funding for disaster can be?
Well, there's a process that has to take place. Apparently the governor has issued a disaster declaration, and that now goes to the President of the United States. And then, but right now they're still in the recovery mode, search and rescue, excuse me, and before they move into recovery mode, because, as I said, there's still about 60 people unaccounted for, and need to make sure that everybody who can be accounted for is properly taken care of. So the federal government will be there as a backstop. There are programs in place that we'll be working with local officials and state officials to try to make sure that whatever is there that the federal government can do as a backstop to all of this great outpouring of support at the local and state level will be backstopped by the federal support.
We are listening to a briefing in West from both Texas U.S. Senators John Cornyn and Ted Cruz, as well as Representative Roger Williams, who is from that region of Texas, and they have just surveyed the damage from the fertilizer plant explosion in West Wednesday night, speaking largely about the show of support from other Texans and other parts of the country for this small farming community, and the show of strength from the town of West as they try to rebuild. Some 50 homes were destroyed. The authorities continue to sift through that rubble, and 12 confirmed dead after that blast. We will have a complete recap coming up in our newscast at 5 o'clock. In addition, if you're looking to help, KXAN is partnering with H-E-B stores to help with the town of West. It's a convenient way for you to make donations to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. That fund makes it possible for the Red Cross to help communities in situations like the West explosion. You can donate at Austin area H-E-B's when you check out at the register there.